Let's go. Welcome back to the Inside Lines, where we break down New Jersey politics and news for real people. I'm your host, George, and if you're new here, this is our 15th episode where we cut through the political noise to tell you what's actually happening in the Garden State. Today, we're talking about something that went into effect just a few weeks ago, and you might not have even heard about it. It's New Jersey's expanded mansion tax. And here's the thing that might surprise you. This isn't just about mansions anymore. And it's definitely not just about rich people. This change affects the entire housing market, the development boom you're seeing in your neighborhood, and it connects to some of the biggest challenges facing New Jersey families today. I want to simply break down exactly what this means for every New Jerseyan, because frankly, the way this has been covered in the media has been pretty confusing. So it's been hot, I know. Grab your ice cold drink and let's just dive right in. All right. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is this mansion tax and what changed on July 10th? Well, first, the name's a bit misleading. Technically, it's part of the real estate transfer fee structure. The 1% surcharge on homes over $1 million has been around for years. But as of July 10th, that fee has expanded into a progressive or sliding scale, a system for homes over $2 million. And here's the kicker. It's no longer the buyer who pays, it's the seller. So here's the new breakdown. $1 million to $2 million homes, still 1%, no change. $2 million to $2.5 million homes, 2%. $2.5 million to $3 million homes, 2.5%. And so on and so forth. Importantly, this is a marginal tax system like income taxes. That means the higher rate only applies to the amount above each threshold. For example, if you sell a $2.2 million home, you pay 1% on the first $2 million, which is $20,000, and then 2% on the remaining $200,000, which is $4,000, for a total tax of $24,000. Now, I know that's not double the original rate, but it's still a significant increase, especially when you consider that the seller didn't pay this tax before. The New Jersey Realtors Association says this will only affect about 3% of transactions, but if you think this doesn't trickle down to the rest of the market, think again. Well, you might be thinking, I'm not buying or selling a $2 million home, so what's this got to do with me? But here's how housing markets work. Everything is connected. When sellers are suddenly hit with a $20,000 to $70,000 tax bill, they have two options: raise their asking price or choose not to sell. That means less inventory at the top end of the market, which pushes buyers down into the next price tier and so on. It's a chain reaction. Fewer listings at the top drive up competition everywhere else. This hits especially hard in a state like New Jersey, where we already have a well-documented housing shortage. The state knows it doesn't have enough homes to meet demand, and this shortage drives up prices across the board. So where does the money from this new tax go? It goes into the state's general fund. This year, it's part of the $58.8 billion budget that includes $4.3 billion in property tax relief, about $2.4 billion of which goes to the anchor program. The pitch is simple. Tax high-end sales more heavily, use the money to help working families with their property taxes. But here's the problem. If those high-end transactions start to decline, if sellers leave the state or hold off listing, then the projected revenue might not materialize. And if the broader market slows down as a result, it hurts everyone. And that's the risk here. In trying to ease the pain for some, the state might end up creating new problems for many more. And we've seen this a lot in New Jersey, haven't we? Okay, so let's switch gears. I don't know about you, but I can't drive through New Jersey without passing a construction site. Massive apartment complexes, rows of townhomes, high-rises popping up in suburban towns. This construction boom is a response to the housing shortage, but it comes with consequences. Traffic is getting worse. Commutes are longer, and it's not just during rush hour, it's all day. Local officials are telling me about infrastructure strain. Every new apartment means more demand on water, sewer, electric grids, and roads that weren't built for today's volume. And schools are a big concern too. More housing means more kids, and many districts are already over capacity. That could mean trailers for classrooms, means hiring new teachers, expanding bus routes, and the bill lands on your local property tax. Emergency services are stretched too. Fire departments, police, EMS, they're all getting more calls without seeing more staff or funding. And here's the kicker. Most of these projects are market rate or luxury units. Affordable housing requirements, like those from Mount Laurel rulings, are limited in scope and rarely meet actual demand. So let's talk politics. Where do the leading gubernatorial candidates, Mikie, Sherrill, and Jack Ciattarelli, stand? Neither campaign has made major public statements about the mansion tax yet, and that silence is telling. Sherrill, she likely supports it. It fits the Democrat playbook. Tax the high end to fund relief at the lower end. She's backed federal infrastructure funding, and she talks about affordable housing, but hasn't addressed the infrastructure consequences of rapid development. Ciattarelli, a Republican with a business background, has pushed to reduce taxes and cut red tape. He argues that making it easier and cheaper to build will expand supply and lower prices. The big question, can that approach ensure affordability, or does it just lead to more high-end projects? I think both candidates need to answer the same core question. How do you balance growth with livability? All right, so let's zoom out for a second. The mansion tax is meant to fund property tax relief. The building boom is meant to solve the housing shortage. But neither is working in a vacuum, and both might be clashing more than helping. If higher taxes slow down sales at the top, inventory shrinks. If new development focuses only on luxury units, affordability stays out of reach. Meanwhile, public services, schools, roads, emergency response are struggling to keep up. We have to ask, what kind of New Jersey are we building? And who is it for? Here's my take. This isn't just about taxes or development. It's about vision. If we want a thriving, affordable, and livable New Jersey, We need policies that look at the full picture, not just patch one problem and create another. The mansion tax might sound like it targets the wealthy, but in a connected market, those ripples spread fast. And development might sound like progress, but without planning, it just adds to the pressure on everyday people. As we head into November, demand more from your candidates. Demand real answers. Ask them, how will you protect our communities while solving the housing crisis? I think this is valid. Look, I want to hear from you guys. Are you seeing more construction in your town? Probably yes. Are you feeling the impact? Probably yes. Let me know. This was a short episode, but that's a wrap for the Inside Lines. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to share your thoughts and comments. And please subscribe to us on our YouTube page or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have suggestions on future topics, let me know. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. My name is George, and this is the Inside Lines.